The university knew they were wrong. The only faith acceptable to attack from the perspective of the left is Christianity.
Hello and welcome to this special report for LifeSite News. My name is Stephen Cox, coming to you from West Michigan. I just finished an interview with a young man named Noah Mullins. Noah is a student at Grand Valley State University, where he, as well as others, have been leading the fight against school administrators who have refused so far to permanently remove a so-called art display that mocks the Blessed Virgin Mary. Noah, as well as others, descended upon campus this past weekend to hold a protest in reparation for the Blasphemous display. I spoke with Noah about the latest developments in this crucial story and where he sees things going next. We're talking just a couple of days after the protest this past weekend at Grand Valley State, which you attended, obviously, with over, I think it was 100 other Catholics. Can you tell me how that went, first of all, and then also, why do you think that was needed, and why did you go and partake in that?
It was incredible to see the turnout we had on Saturday. Approximately, as you mentioned, 100 Catholics came out here to Grand Valley State's campus in Allendale to pray the Rosary in reparation for the offense against Mary, the Mother of God, through the art installation known as Petals of Change that was displayed in the Kirchhoff Center only just recently. Got taken down, but since September, we know it's been up. It was needed because this installation is going back up, according to the university. They took it down from its spot in the Kirchhoff Center and have vowed to relocate it to a location with better context, whatever that context may be. But we're praying for the university to change its decision in redisplaying this, but also praying for the souls of Grand Valley State University faculty and students, just to see that this is an offense against God and against people of faith, but also for the conversion of souls, as we do in any prayer.
Well, I saw photos of the prayerful protest, and it looked very peaceful. Did you encounter any hostilities or counter-protesters? I know Grand Valley is a state-funded school, or at least receives $100 million per year in state funds. Was there anyone who was hostile to you, or how'd the day go?
There was no hostility, thankfully. We'd had a few spectators actually come up to us and ask questions, and were very peaceful with us, so no protesters whatsoever.
For those who don't know, maybe explain kind of the background of this display. Obviously, Our Lady of Guadalupe, one image of her is on there. There's a whole bunch of like LGBT and social justice slogans. How did this first come to your attention? Why did you feel the need to get involved? Also, some of the other people who are pushing back against this, I know state lawmakers are involved as well, other than just yourself.
In September of 2024, September 25th to be exact, one of the members of Catholic Campus Ministry here at Grand Valley informed all of us via our online chat rooms GroupMe that this installation had been displayed in the Kirchhoff Center. It has 3 depictions of Mary, only one of which is Our Lady of Guadalupe, but 3 depictions of Mary nonetheless, that, as you pointed out, have several slogans and imagery related to the LGBTQ community, but also violence against women, per what the artist is saying, displayed on the right panel. And through the installation, Mary's image was desecrated, to say best. On the right panel, there was an X through Mary's face with a gun pointed at her, but also there's a smaller image of Mary lower on the panel. So this gun was pointed at Mary in her smaller figure, but also in her larger figure, again, with an X through her face. And on the far left panel, you saw images like men in drag and bondage attire. It was just very, very sacrilege, but also just disturbing, to say the least. So the university, or rather the students who made this issue known, started contacting the university in late September via email. They set up 1 or 2 meetings in October where university officials told them at the beginning of those meetings that their concerns were being heard, that they were there to understand how the students felt, but that the installation was not coming down. So right at the beginning of the meetings, it was clear that the university was standing firm on this attack against Christians and against other students of faith here at the university. So through those meetings, nothing really came of those meetings other than we, the Catholic students, and I was not present at those, but Catholic students were able to make their voices heard through a meeting, but the university chose not to act upon any of the evidence we supported or gave to support the removal of this installation. I became involved at a November 25th meeting where I met with 3 university officials, our dean of students, a representative from the art gallery, and a representative from our interfaith institute on campus, which is known as the Kaufman Interfaith Institute. Just like in the meetings in October, we were told by university officials that they were here to hear us and understand how we felt, but that the installations were not coming down. So that meeting proceeded. And one thing I'd like to point out about that meeting is that one of the students who was advocating for its removal asked the officials of the university point blank, if there was an image of you with an X through your face and a gun pointed at you, how would you feel? And to that, they did not answer. They beat around the bush and quickly moved on to another topic in the meeting. So that just showed right away that the university knew they were wrong. They knew this installation was going to cause chaos on campus. And at a meeting only a few days later, December 2nd, I met with another university official along with one of those other 2 students that I was with in the November meeting to make more of our concerns known. And I came to that meeting with much more prepared materials. I presented substantial evidence on Mary being a Jewish woman, so that this was also an anti-Semitic attack. But I also presented evidence on Mary being a Muslim woman according to the Quran. So this was also an attack on a Muslim woman per the Islamic faith. And for those who don't know, Michigan, our state where Grand Valley State University is located, is home to the largest Muslim population in the entire United States. Many of those students attend Grand Valley State University, and they have voiced their vocal support to me personally for the removal of this installation because they see it as sacrilege too, and as an attack on students of faith. So at that meeting, we did have a little bit more of a successful hearing, I guess you could say. This was with a university official on the downtown campus, so totally separate from the Allendale campus. And they did encourage us to follow university procedure. But the problem with following the university procedure at this point is that we had met with someone higher than them in the November 25th meeting. So the university procedure would have just put us to another dead end. Going into the winter break after that December 2nd meeting, we reorganized, thought of a different strategy, and that was going to lawmakers in Lansing. Now, this is where the entire cause got a lot more serious and a lot deeper. We met with, or reached out to rather, Representative Luke Meerman of District 89 here in Michigan. He represents the district that the Grand Valley State Allendale campus falls into. And we contacted Representative Jamie Thompson of District 28, my home district here in Michigan, and informed both of them of this installation. And they quickly got on our side and saw this like we do and like most people do across the state and nation, and that is an attack on Christians and a violent message too. So with Jamie Thompson, Representative Thompson, that is, tweeting about this on, I believe it was January 22nd, a Sunday night, the wheels finally started to turn. And from that tweet came action from Live, Detroit Free Press, Catholic Vote, LifeSite News. They all began to cover the story now that we were getting it more publicly known. And then following after that came TV interviews with WZZM ABC 13 in Grand Rapids, with Wood TV 8 in Grand Rapids, with WMMT, CBS 3 in Kalamazoo. And from all of that came this incredibly high media storm, we could say, that did convince the university officials to remove the installation from the Kirchhoff Center. But they vowed in a statement to relocate it. So right now we are in a kind of a lull period, figuring out where they're going to relocate it and when. We continue to check the website for its location. It right now says in storage, but we're continually keeping our eyes open as we walk around campus and on the website as we wait to hear what happens with it next.
At the rally, did anybody else show up? Although you said no counter protesters, I think you said the media, but any other individuals who kind of maybe bothered you guys or approached you? I know you've been in the media a lot, so you're probably a target for some people.
At the end of the Rosary rally, I was interviewed by a few local news stations, by Tradition Family Property as well. But after all of that, an individual approached me who identified himself as an independent videographer hired by the artist of Petals of Change. I do not know why he was requesting comment from me. I was told that the content of what he was filming, and he did film the Rosary rally. He was out there from the beginning to the end. He did tell me that the content would be, my interview, that is, if I were to comment like he was requesting of me, was to go to the artist. Again, I don't know why this was requested of me. I did decline that interview, and politely so, but I did certainly decline. I was told that there may be a video or a documentary, maybe you could say, about this issue from the artist's perspective that is coming out, or what the videographer was telling me in our personal conversation. And my response to that is I certainly welcome open dialogue, having them video or record our Rosary rally is certainly in their rights, and important to free speech and a balanced viewpoint. But definitely was a little odd to be approached like that and told that my content, the interview, that is, if I were to take it, was going to be a message to the artist per what that videographer said. So yeah, that was the only other encounter we had after that traditional media, and then of course TFP's media team.
Yeah, well, you've certainly been through a lot. You've led the charge as well as others, and kudos to you. Especially, we need especially young men who defend the faith in these times, especially when there's so many effeminate young men who are willing to just roll over and be part of the problem in our culture. So, first of all, thank you for doing all that. And as a native Grand Rapidian, West Michigander, it's great to see Catholics in the area fighting back, and I've been privileged to cover this report.
Pope Pius XI said, men must look for the peace of Christ in the kingdom of Christ. And he urged that the faithful give public honor to Christ the King so that individuals and states would submit once more to the rule of their Savior. And that is why LifeSite News is raising up the image of Christ the King across the United States. And you can help us reach millions more. Please pledge your support today for these billboards at lifefunder.com/Christ is King.
The way the administrators have tried to hedge their bets here and try to find a middle way to say, well, the context of this display just wasn't understood, and that, we'll try to find a better place for that to happen. Well, I'm curious about, what do they think their context was? I mean, I read a statement by the artist, so-called artist on this, and we mean her no ill will. Obviously, I know at the prayer rally you prayed for her, and I hope someone who clearly understands Hispanic culture and Our Lady of Guadalupe, that we hope that she comes to a better appreciation of how important Mary is, and not just culturally, but religiously and spiritually. And so, the intent seems obviously to weaponize Our Lady and to push us. I don't understand the context, how this can better be understood in a better way. What the administrators are saying. I don't think, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think at Grand Valley, I didn't go to Grand Valley, I went to a school nearby, ever, in the last 30 years at least, maybe more, maybe ever included a King of David star, a Star of David on campus that was desecrated, or an image of Muhammad that had transgender individuals interlaced over it. So what do you think that university is doing here? I mean, this is clearly an age of DEI and wokeism, but I think Trump sent a pretty strong message, as well as the culture around him, that, that's not really something that the American people want anymore.
There is a strong population here on the Grand Valley campus, a strong portion of the Grand Valley population that feels like you and I do, that this is wokeism trying to attack students of faith here at Grand Valley. And I believe you made a great point that you would never and have never seen the Star of King David desecrated, or an image of Muhammad desecrated. We have never seen that on campus. I've looked through the art gallery's website and have found nothing even closely related to that. And, it's in this age, the only faith acceptable to attack from the perspective of the left is Christianity. I think that we are seeing a reversal of that, though. You made a point about Trump sending a strong message that the American people don't want this. And we've seen that in this issue through the media coverage. A lot of the articles that have been posted online, they have comment sections, and the tweet from Representative Thompson also has a comment section, X that is, and we've seen an outflowing of support from people across the country and even internationally via social media channels showing support for our cause to remove this installation, because it's clearly an attack on students of faith, especially Christian Catholic students. So the majority of Americans, I would say the majority of Grand Valley students, or at least a significant portion, see this as an awful installation that should be removed entirely from the collection and never, ever redisplayed anywhere on campus. But one last point I'll make is that you brought up the statement the university made about they need to find a better context to present it. The question I would simply ask Grand Valley or anybody of common sense is, where on campus or where on earth is there a better context to attack people of faith? Simply put. And to that, I feel that they cannot find an answer, because there is no answer other than there is no place to place this installation where there won't be an attack on Christians or Muslims or Jews.
Then it actually seems to me this is a golden opportunity for Attorney General Pam Bondi, who just launched her anti-Christian bias task force, to maybe get involved here, because this is not just, a blatant attack on people of religious belief, but especially, as you said, Christians and specifically. So, Attorney General Pam Bondi, if you're watching, this is a great opportunity. I mean, there's $100 million of taxpayer funding going to Grand Valley, and they bought this display from the student. So this is a clear instance of that. It's offensive to Mary, first and foremost. It's offensive to Christ, first and foremost, too, right? It's not just, us. It's an attack on them. I guess my next question is, how has the diocese and other Catholic leaders in the area responded? I reached out to the Catholic diocese so far. I haven't received a response yet. I'm not sure if they're going to respond or not. What message might you have maybe for them or other Catholics in the area who aren't involved yet? And maybe, how to get involved on this issue to make sure that, hey, it's not just the grassroots people, students like yourself, who need to get involved here. This is a real issue. And Grand Valley, again, as you know, is a huge institution in West Michigan. So we need I think a quite serious response. I think you'd probably agree with that.
I have full faith in the Grand Rapids Diocese and the Catholic Church here in West Michigan, but globally. But unfortunately, the response to this issue here in West Michigan, we have not seen a response from the diocese level. I have reached out to inform them of this issue. No official statements have been made. We have found support from local church leaders. Our priest at St. Luke University Parish has been a great fighter on this issue, and he took a meeting with a university official to promote our cause of removing this installation and just proving that it's an attack on students of faith. So we've had great support and appreciation from the pastor at St. Luke University Parish. But again, the diocese, I do wish would make a statement on this installation. But I believe that Catholics in the area who are not clergymen can still support us. We ask that you call the president's office of Grand Valley State University with peaceful and kind comments, but certainly make your concerns known. I just want to reinform people, as I have been throughout the last week, that those who are answering the phone are student workers, just desk attendants for the president's office. So they have no decision-making power in this. They can simply pass along your message. But I say none of that to say curtail your concerns or to dwindle down your concerns. Make your concerns known. And you're a taxpayer. If you're here in West Michigan, you are a taxpayer to this university. So you certainly have the right to tell this university how to spend your tax dollars. And it should not be on something that is so full of hatred and bigotry towards students of faith.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it too about the university. Reach out respectfully, obviously, express your concerns, and continue to do that. And we have the contact information and all the stories at LifeSite here. We'll put it also in the description in this video, wherever it's posted. I suppose moving forward, though, what does a solution look like? I think there's some people, and you can clarify to me, who've offered to maybe buy this from the university and probably just, I imagine, burn it or something, because if it's still in the hands of Grand Valley State, it seems to me at some point down the road, they don't want to offend the person who created it. They want to stand up to Christians and do what they have always done at universities across the country. Where do you see things moving forward, and how do you personally want to persevere in this? What are your next steps going to look like, do you think?
To petition the university to sell this piece. We know that there are members of the community who are willing to buy this piece for the price that the university bought it, as was disclosed in the Catholic Vote article regarding this issue. But we also know that there have been community members who have called and offered. They aren't just simply willing, but they've offered to buy it. And the university has declined them on that, vowing to redisplay the piece. So we are going to continue to petition the university to sell this piece off. And what comes of it after that is up to the discretion of the buyer. But we simply want the university to sell this piece off, or to vow in a public statement that they will not redisplay it. But we think that selling the piece off can be a happy end for all parties involved. So that's our next steps. We know the Tradition Family Property has created a petition online that has over 11,000, almost 12,000 now signatures petitioning the university not to redisplay it. So we have people from across the country, and again, internationally, that have petitioned the university not to redisplay it. So that is our next steps as of now, and we will continue in that until we get a response from the university. We simply ask, yes, reach out to the president's office, make your concerns known, but pray. That is our greatest weapon in this life, and that is prayer. Pray for the university officials and academic officials across the nation to stop with this woke DEI bashing on Christians and on students of faith in general. We've seen anti-Semitism rise on campuses across the country, and that needs to stop. So we ask for prayers for the university and academia across the nation. As for me, I'm looking to serve my community, my state in any way I can, certainly keeping in mind public life in politics here in Michigan, mostly on the east side of the state where I'm from, but looking to serve my community in some way while also defending my faith and defending the faith of millions of Michiganders. So as for my life post-graduation, definitely looking to serve in the Michigan legislature, if possible, and maybe down the road, even the U.S. Congress. But I'm 22, a lot of life left to live, I pray, and we will certainly see what happens. But serve my community, serve my country, serve God.
Well, we have a governorship opening up here, so think about that. That's going to be an interesting race to see here in Michigan. Thank you so very much for being with us at LifeSite News, and keep up the great work. We'll send prayers your way, and follow this story until the school decides to take this down. And we defend the honor of Mary, we defend the honor of the church and our Lord Jesus Christ. So, and you're being a great example for all of us in doing that. So continue the hard work, and God bless.
God bless you, Stephen. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is John Henry Weston for LifeSite News. We hope you found this video insightful. For more content like this, be sure to check out the links in the description below. You can also follow us on social media to stay updated on the latest news concerning life, faith, family, and freedom. Thanks for watching, and may God bless you.